In my business, in order to become more successful, I have to continue to multiply the assets that I own. And in order to multiply the assets that I own, I need to go out there and make offers. And not only just make offers that people accept. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how I make my offers to people so that I can acquire more properties and ultimately multiply the assets that I own. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets you own. I am Hoan Tai, and today I'm going to be going over how I make my offers so that I can multiply my assets. Before we actually make an offer, we have to understand what a good offer is, because if we don't know what we're buying, then we don't know how much we should actually offer. So there's two ways that I like to look at a property in order to determine what to offer. What I'm looking at: is there going to be equity, or is there going to be cash flow, or both? When it comes to the equity, what you get to do is you look at the all-in price, meaning how much did you buy the property for, how much did you renovate the property for, and what are your holding costs for the property. You look at your all-in, and then you're going to compare that to the after repair value. So what is the property going to be worth after you've repaired all of the things that you need to repair? So you're going to look at your all-in number, compare it to your after repair value. If your all-in number is less than the after repair value, that means you have equity. So then that's a good deal. So you need to know what your rehab costs are, what your holding costs are, what your finance costs are, so that you can determine a purchase price. And that is going to be an offer that you make. The other way you determine what to offer is you're going to look at it from a cash flow perspective. What is going to be your exit financing, your long-term financing strategy at the end, and then how much you're going to pay towards that per month. And then you're going to look at the property and you're going to look how much is that bringing in per month, and then you're going to look at the difference. Is there a difference between how much you bring in and how much you pay out to your long-term debt? And that spread is the cash flow this time, just like the equity. So you're going to be comparing two things to see if it's a deal, and then by determining how much cash flow you need, then that's going to dictate what price you offer. And again, that is how you make your offer. So the first thing you have to do is do your analysis and figure out the equity position or the cash flow position, or both, so that you can make an offer that actually works. Because if they accept the offer, but you didn't do your analysis, you might find out later that you don't have an equity position or a cash flow position that actually works. So when you are buying a property, there are two things that you get to control. Two things, right? There's going to be the purchase price. So when you make an offer and you guys negotiate, when they say, hey, I want $1 million, and you say no, that's you controlling the purchase price. You're saying no to that number. If they say, I want $1, and you say yes, again, you're in control of that purchase price. The other thing that you get to play around with are your finance costs. Your finance costs are how are you going to borrow the money, or where's the money going to come from, and how much is that money going to cost? If you borrow money from a credit card and you're not in a promotional period and the credit card is charging you 18.99% interest, that might seem a little high, right? So then that is high versus, let's say you had a line of credit and they were charging 4%. So that's low. So you get to play around with that. You get to play around with the finance costs for your deal. Those are the two components: purchase price and then finance cost. So what I'm going to teach you guys right now is the 3-step offer. So you're going to do this. You're going to make a cash offer, you're going to make a creative acquisitions offer, and then you are going to offer to list the property. So let's say we're having a conversation. You're the seller, I'm the buyer. I say, hey, fantastic house, I would love to buy your house for $100,000. And you go, no way, I can't buy it you can't buy it from me for $100,000. I'm selling it for $150,000. I say, okay, so I can give you cash at $100,000. That's my cash offer. But if you're willing, I can give you, let's say, $125,000, but you're going to have to provide some kind of financing for me. Whether you're going to do seller financing or we're going to take over the property subject to the existing mortgage, something like that, then I can come up to $125. And you go, no, absolutely not. I still want $150. And I go, okay, whoa. Okay, no problem. $150 it is. But that $150 is not going to come from me. I can list your property for $150,000, and let's see what the market says. I am not the market. I'm just one person, and my cash offer is $100,000. My creative financing offers $125,000, which is closer to your $150,000. And my final offer is I list the property for the 150 and let's see if the market agrees with you. If they do, then great, we get you that 150 you want. And if they don't, well, then we'll talk about it. If you guys see there, I gave the seller 3 offers, right? 3 offers. I gave them a cash offer, a creative acquisitions offer, and then a listing offer. Those 3 offers allows them to kind of pick and choose to see if any one of those things works for them. You can also do like little micro closes as well. It's like, hey, look, I offered you a cash offer, which is a pretty strong offer, but I also offered you a creative acquisitions offer that got closer to your price. So I'm being reasonable. And then I said I'm going to list it. And let's try to get you your number. Let's see what the market says. That sounds fair, right? You see that last part? That sounds fair, right? That's reasonable, right? That's a micro close. They go, okay, yeah, you're right. All right, let's do it. All right, let's try listing it. It's like, fantastic. Okay, well, we're going to list it. But here's what might happen. Let's walk through the scenario. We might list it at $150,000, and you might get a bunch of people come through. And they're all looking at it, and they're like, wow, okay. And then we might get some offers, and you might sell it. And everybody celebrates. Fantastic. You're happy. I'm happy. The buyer's happy. All good. But the other thing that might happen is you're going to get a lot of people coming through. They're going to come see the property, and then they're going to look and say, it needs a lot of work. And then they're going to give you offers. They're going to give you offers of whatever, right? And so you might not be happy with them. And then finally, you're maybe not going to get anybody to walk through at all. So I just want you to be prepared for all of the things that can happen. How long do you want to list a property for? And it's like, well, as long as it's going to take to sell. Well, how about this? I don't want you to waste your time, and I don't want you to go through the emotional roller coaster that I know that happens when sellers can't sell their property. So in the event, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but in the event that we can't move the property, could we revisit me buying the property? Maybe the numbers might change, maybe not. But shall we revisit, let's say after 30 days or 60 days? That sound fair? Okay, that sounds fair, right? Micro close, and then you put together this scenario where, hey, look, we're going to try it your way, and if it doesn't work, is it okay that we go back and since I'm working with you all this time, like just sell me the property? And then eventually, maybe not today, maybe in 60 days from now, but you still get the property for either the cash offer or the creative acquisitions offer. Now, the question is, why can you offer more with the creative acquisitions offer? Well, remember guys, I said there's 2 things that I'm playing around with. I'm playing around with the price, and then I'm playing around with the finance cost. So when I give them 2 offers, I'm giving them a cash price, and then I'm giving them a creative acquisitions offer. What's happening is, if I give them a cash price, well, that cash is not my cash. I'm getting that cash from somewhere else. I'm borrowing it at some interest rate. So that cash at $100,000 might actually cost me $125,000. If I'm getting the financing from the seller through a creative acquisition, then ultimately I'm giving them the interest that I'm paying. Really, I'm paying the $100,000. They just happen to be getting the $25,000 in finance costs. You guys see how that works? It's the same offer, but now instead of tapping into my sources of funds, when I offer cash, I'm tapping into the seller's sources of funds, even if it's their equity. They might not have any cash, but I'm tapping into the equity of the house, and I'm willing to give them more. That's essentially the interest on the same $100,000. You guys see? That way, it's the same price. I'm still dealing with $100,000. I baked in from my analysis that we talked about in the beginning that there's going to be some kind of finance cost. I knew that ahead of time. So if I offer cash, there's $25,000 in finance fees there. Or if I offer the seller $125,000, then that's the same. That's $100,000 with $25,000 in fees. Pretty cool, right? I know nobody has ever broken it down to you that way. I know it. I'm good at this, and I've been around the block. I know nobody has ever told you it that way. All right, guys, so here at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a cool little Easter egg thing for staying to the end. So after you finally do the deal, because you made the offers, and then the seller's like, okay, I'm going to accept, right? You made the offers, and then they're going to accept one. They're either going to accept the cash or this or that, whatever. They accept one. You say, hey, now that you have all of that money, what are you going to do with it? And they're like, well, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to pay off a car. I'm going to pay off a credit card. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Okay, great. What are you going to do with the rest of it? I don't know. It's just going to sit in the bank. Well, as you know, I'm a real estate investor, and what I do is I come across real estate opportunities all the time. And what I do also is I allow other people to invest in my deals so that they can make money on their money. And by the way, that's how rich people become really rich. They don't work hard for the money. Their money works hard for money, and they just receive it. So if you're interested, when we actually sell this property, whether you sell it to me or you sell it to somebody else, you're going to have a whole bunch of money. Would you be open to the idea of maybe taking a look at some of my opportunities and seeing how you can make money on your money? Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that is how you guys become a ninja at this stuff. This is how you hone your skills, by watching the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets that you own. All right, well, if you guys like this video, if you guys like these tips, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe, because we release videos every Monday and Wednesday here at the Hoan Zone. All right, guys, so that is it. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Hoan Tai. Let's multiply.